gonna have to countersink these back in here a little bit more yet. They're still sticking up just a hair. But I think we're probably ready to give it a try. Perfect that way. And pretty good that way too. Yeehaw! But now it won't run. What's the problem? Well, the beauty of this is that even though it's all hooked up, it can come right out just like this. Yeah, my trigger, even though I've got it wire tied back in there, isn't quite tight enough. We're going to tighten up our wire tie a little bit more. So let me show you how this all works. You can see I have the bandsaw laying down here, and I have re-countersunk these so that they will be flush. Trying to get them as tight as possible, but I have it set up. You see I have this little block of aluminum here, and I have this that's sort of notched out in the back. See, you didn't get some of the dust off there. Oh well. And these pieces of, well, they were 2x10, but they've been ripped down and fitted. This is set up so that it pretty much, it's anchored totally to the bench. It's screwed up from the bottom with 3-inch screws, and in the front here, and my filler block in the back is screwed together with 3-inch screws, as is this piece here. And yeah, so when I put my saw in there, it's pretty much self-leveling and anchors itself in place. The only thing that these two screws here do, because these two screws here actually anchor to the saw itself, these two here, there might be a little bit of play in here, just a smidgen, and that's just enough to make it totally solid so it doesn't move at all. It's rock solid. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to assemble it, because it's made so it will come out. The only thing I need to change is where my wire comes through here. I would need to make that a little bit bigger. It's not quite big enough for my plug to slide through. But that's a simple enough project to do. But all I have to do is slide this in. And I could actually leave the wire in the back. But this goes in here, like this. And I mean, it's not tight because this is at an angle the way it's made, but when it is in place and the way it finally works, let me get my wire is underneath there, and I had to put 2 wire ties on my trigger because the one was not sufficient. Okay, so it's pretty solid in there. Now all I have to do now is slide my table in place like this, and I have 2 countersunk screws that I got. These are number 5. The ones that came on it are button head. These are tapered head, countersunk, whatever you want to call it. And so I've got 2 of those. That's all there is on here for the original plate. And here's the original plate, and you can see that it's not very substantial if you're going to be cutting something. Because remember, this is made to be portable to cut stuff on the fly without major accuracy. We're trying to make it a little bit more accurate. And my piece of aluminum, by the way, is a piece of diamond plate that a friend of mine gave me. And I cut it down. You can see I've ground the diamonds off in the area where it actually mounts so that it fits in there smoothly. And put my screws in place here. And there's not a lot of play, I can tell you that right now. And once they're in place, that anchors it to the saw itself. And then all it's left to do, after we get these anchored to the saw, and I'm not left-handed, I'm trying to do it so you can see what I'm doing. I'm snugging them right down. They are fine thread, which is a good thing. And now they're countersunk. They're down below the top of the table. All right. So that goes there. And then all I have to do, so now just line my holes up there. And there it is. That puppy is not going anywhere. And the saw itself is stable. And then if you look down here, I have a switch that I wired in. And that is wired down under the bench and comes up in the back. Back here comes up this groove. You know, these boards don't fit tight. They got battens on the outside. And it comes up here, comes behind my gas station octane rating sign. Came off of a Citgo gas pump, comes out here and then plugs in up there. And then my saw itself is plugged in here to the outlet so that I flip the switch and it comes on. So now that we have this set up here, let's see how well I did my job. I think I've got it. I think I've got it. Let's see. I can't do it that way. Got to do it this way. That thing is just about perfectly square with the bench. See that? Yupper. That's good that way. And it's also good. No, I don't know if I get you over there to see that. You'll have to take my word for it. It's pretty well plumb on the front of the blade. So the only thing that's left now is to try it out. This is the piece of steel that I'm going to use for mounting my caliper to. And let me just put a line on it so we get a straight line here. Hey, that's better now. I can see the line. Can you see the line? All right. So let's turn it on and give it a try. Pushing real hard because I have no idea how strong the blade is. We're letting the saw do the work. And what do you think? That's a pretty nice cut. Look at that thing. And that's pretty thick metal too. That's not like little thin stuff. That's just a little cleanup and that baby's ready to go. Yes, sirree, Bob. And I didn't have it on the fastest speed because I don't want to overheat the blade. And the blade is still cool to the touch. That's good. And I think, let me see. I'm trying to remember what for tooth count I have. These are 10 point. There's the specs on it. And 10 TPI, 10 points per inch. So it's not real fine, but it should do the job. And I don't know what brand it is. I got it online. Got 3 of them in the pack. So that should do the trick. We have the bandsaw going. Now we can get to work on this. And that'll be my next project in the shop when I get out here. Thanks again for watching, for commenting, and for subscribing. And yeah, I think you'd like to have a portable bandsaw mounted on your workbench just like that. That works dandy. And it's still removable, so you can use it for other things. Can't beat it for that. Till next time, bye for now.